Republican colleagues who are sure what is in and not in this bill, in this process that has been this rushed, when you wake up in the morning, you will realize that you voted to defund Planned Parenthood and to take away health care from 13.7 million Americans. And when this country wakes up in the morning, there will be consequences to pay for this.
And I only hope that those consequences are fast enough to stop the bill from passing in the Senate and being signed by Donald Trump. I don't have a lot of hope for that, but I appreciate what AOC is saying. And there will certainly be political consequences to the GOP, even if they fully succeed. They got it through the House, the big bill, they get it through the Senate, Trump, there will be consequences. But just to be clear, the GOP at this point doesn't really seem to care about that, because they know that the way American politics works is you do the big thing, you transfer trillions, and then maybe you lose an election or whatever. And then maybe people move on and they don't think about it so much, and maybe you get back into power. It's not like they can take the trillions of dollars back, unfortunately. But that said, it isn't a done deal. Maybe it can still be stopped. And if it's gonna be stopped, people like AOC are obviously going to be a big part of that. And so I'm happy to hear her speaking out. But let's just be very clear. I've been saying this whole last week, we cover the disagreements. Oh, some Republicans think they're cutting too much. Others are saying you're not cutting enough. But what did I say the whole time? They're not gonna pass up an opportunity to give trillions of dollars to their donors. And what do you know? They worked it out and they passed the bill in the House. And now it was narrow, 1 vote margin, which is why theoretically having a Democratic Party where you don't have multiple members of your dead tragically dying of old age in office is important when votes are coming down to a single vote. But anyway, the big gift to the billionaires has actually been passed, and all around the country, right-wing media super excited about that because they've been successful in at least temporarily deluding their viewers into thinking that this has anything to do with them, that will help out their lives. They know it won't, but remember, these right-wing media members are all universally millionaires who will benefit from the tax benefits in this bill. And those same Republican voters in many cases super excited about the passage of the bill, apparently not understanding or caring that trillions of dollars are being transferred from them and their families and being given to Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and all of that. Now, they will learn, as AOC alluded to, it's difficult not to understand what's happening when you're thrown off of your health insurance and then you get spit in the face by a Republican politician calling you a lazy parasite. So they will learn that lesson tragically. I wish they didn't have to, but unfortunately for now, I think many of them are very happy. And so we're gonna discuss a little bit, we'll get into the details later, but I just wanna let you know, like, going forward, what's gonna happen from this. And one big thing that's gonna happen that we haven't talked about much is Medicare. And I know what you're probably thinking, wait, what are you talking about? Medicare? Medicare is not a big part of this. Medicaid is a big part of this. They're cutting Medicaid by hundreds of billions of dollars. No, they're also cutting Medicare. And again, you might be like, what? I haven't seen any reporting about. No, they're not cutting it in the bill. These are very slippery little reptiles we're dealing with. No, what they're doing is they're so thoroughly shredding the revenue that the government will be taking in that what they're setting up is automatic cuts to Medicare that will happen in future years because so many trillions of dollars are gonna be added to the deficit and the debt that it will necessitate automatic cuts to Medicare. And that's a part of the story that unfortunately hasn't been talked about much. Even we haven't talked about it nearly enough. But this bill has, basically it has it all for the right wing. And we will dive into the details as I said. But first, Daria, this is the first chance with you on our show. You've had a chance to talk about this. It has passed the House. What do you make of it?
I mean, Republicans have pulled off something genuinely impressive here. Like they've managed to call a $2.3 trillion deficit explosion responsible governance while simultaneously promising not to cut Medicare. And kind of like you alluded to already, it's gonna happen. It's triggering an automatic Medicare cut. It's kind of like when you promise your spouse that, I'm not gonna spend any more money, but you're actually maxing out your credit cards instead. You're gonna feel it in the next election cycle. It's just very convenient here that they're trying to make it seem like it's something that it's not. People are gonna feel it, they're gonna feel it, but who won't be feeling it and who will be feeling better are definitely their billionaire buddies and friends because they have delivered on one part of their promise, their tax cuts.
Yeah, and imagine if, like in your metaphor, you're super irresponsible with money, you keep like dooming the family's finances, and when it comes out that you've done that, your partner leaves you. But then 4 years later, they get back with you. And then you do it again and they leave you. And then 4 years later, they get back with you. 4 years after that, why wouldn't you max out the credit cards at that point? There doesn't seem to be any memory. They keep getting back together with you and you got to spend all this money. And that is unfortunately the state of America. This has happened over and over and over again. And voters either can't learn the lesson, can't retain the lesson, or fundamentally don't care. Maybe they just really, really care more about stopping trans people from playing high school sports. I don't know. I want to hope that that's not what's going on here, but it's really looking like they care so much about that they're willing to see our financial house be absolutely set on fire.